Yo, what is going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. So on today's episode, we're going to be kicking this one off with a clip from a woman right here who has still not found Mr. Right, guys. She can't find her Prince Charming, her husband, but that's okay because she has a solution which she's going to tell us about. Guys, don't forget to drop your thoughts and your comments, and let's just jump right in and see what she has to say.
So, I've got a gap, so I thought I'd do a quick post. I was just messaging somebody on the DMs. Okay, so dating. Why is it that for ages, looking for Mr. Right, he for me, he does not exist. So what's the point?
Mr. Right exists. You've just passed him many times over. Guys, do not be fooled by girls when they say this, okay? When they say, oh, I haven't found Mr. Right, or I can't find my Prince Charming, or I haven't found my husband yet, or my soulmate yet, they have. Okay, and if a girl gets to this age, and I'm very bad at guessing people's ages here, guys, but, this is an older lady, okay? This woman has been past her man many times over in her life, guys, but the thing that keeps these women single is their standards. Okay, they want they want the guy who's 6 foot making 6 figures to commit to them. And, even if he does, oftentimes they want someone who's just a little bit better each time. And that's what keeps these girls single, is they're always looking out for the next bigger and better thing, guys, because that dude who's in that, that they came across in their 20s, nobody ever beats that one guy, right? Let's continue.
So I decided to find Mr. Right now in the hope of stumbling across Mr. Right.
And what a fantastic solution. Right, so if you didn't catch what she just said there, guys, is basically she can't find her husband right now. She can't find her long-term relationship right now. So what she's going to do is she's going to go out here and she's going to jump from bad boy to bad boy on dating apps. And I wish I could say that this is not the strategy of a lot of modern women, guys, but it absolutely is. A lot of women are out here, and what they do is they treat men who are good men, who work hard, who do the jobs that are difficult, truck drivers, plumbers, electricians. A lot of these girls will pass up dudes like that who have more stable careers than anyone doing these gender studies degrees, let's be honest, okay? They'll pass up all those men who care about, have good morals, have good families, and crap like that. Because she wants the dude who she's highly attracted to. She wants that guy who's 6 foot, earning, 6 foot, 6 figures. Okay, but that guy who's a plumber, who's maybe new to his career, who's earning 50, 75K, oh, she doesn't want him. Okay, but it's ridiculous, man. Like, this girl, again, I'm so bad at guessing people's ages, man, but regardless, she should not be on Tinder or Bumble. Like, that's just crazy, man. You can make the argument that nobody should be on dating apps, but an older woman especially, guys, is like absolutely insane. Like, dating apps are bad enough for men in particular and for society as a whole, but to get girls on here like, yeah, I'm just going to jump from bad boy to bad boy is so absolutely insane.
It's honestly, I don't even last chatting on dating sites for more than 2 days.
And look at that. Right, I don't mean to keep pausing here, guys, but it is kind of a bit dense, okay? This girl just told us that she does not like to talk on dating apps for more than 2 days. Guys, this is why I tell you, okay? I don't mind if you're, if you're a dude who's going out there choosing to date, if you're a dude who's choosing to not date, it's totally up to you guys. Choose your own path, whatever works for you in life, okay? To those of the guys who are out there dating right now and, you're talking to these girls and whatever, please understand that a lot of girls will absolutely waste your time. Well, guys, they'll be happy to be your pen pal for months and months and months, and every time you ask to meet them up, you'll get excuses like, oh, it's raining outside, or she's got family members coming over from a different state, or she's got to do some house sitting, just random crap, or like, oh, she's tired, whatever, guys, right? Girls who are actually attracted to you, they'll make stuff happen. Within 2 days, like this woman just said right here, we got a lot of dudes out here literally being pen pals to these women who have absolutely no romantic interest in you whatsoever, and they're just leading you on, using you for attention. Right? And guys, like that's out of her mouth right there. I didn't say it, okay? She wants to meet up within 2 days. But most men have the experience where they get screwed around for many days at a time, right? So something is not lining up right there.
Seriously, this is not a very flattering angle, is it? Oh, well. Yeah, I have to wait for my next call. I don't like gaps. Right. I'm going to keep checking my app just in case. Anyway.
She doesn't like gaps. Now, guys, I don't know if she's referring to, you know, the gaps in between the messages that she's receiving on the dating app or the calls or whatever, or if she's referring to the gaps in between men that she's seeing. But in any case, guys, is like chasing these girls on dating apps is, you know, nothing fulfilling at all, especially for men. Okay, if you're going out here and you're dealing with these girls, guys, let me tell you, these women are not wife material. They're not long-term girlfriend material. Hell, they're not even relationship material. And they're the same ones who wonder why aren't men taking them seriously, right? They get to this age and then they cry about the fact that men don't want them anymore. And it's like, yeah, you wasted your entire youth chasing dudes who didn't want you anyway. And then you turn around at the end and you look for provisioning from a dude who has worked his butt off all of his life to get where he is. Like, it's ridiculous, man. It straight up is, okay? But guys, we're going to continue on to today's next clip before we jump into today's Patreon question. So let's take a look at this one right here.
I'm officially at the age where I can date you or your dad. Don't play with me.
You gotta love how these girls seem to think it's a flex when they can get with random dudes. You know, because what they're essentially doing is they're thinking in their head like, oh, this makes me valuable. I can get attention from men. I can have bedroom fun with men. It doesn't make you valuable, right? It doesn't make men want to chase you or think that you're more desirable. Okay, girls have it, guys. If a dude is out here and he has a lot of options, that's quite attractive to girls. Okay, it really is. But if you turn it the other way around, it's like, yeah, of course you can get with random dudes. Because you're a girl and you've woke up and you've taken a bath. Like, I don't understand here, guys, where these women seem to think that it's some sort of flex, that it makes them look good or it makes them look desirable when they can attract men, when they can have bedroom fun with men. It means absolutely nothing. It means that you woke up and you take a bath. Hell, these girls don't even need to take a bath, guys. Like, the fact of the matter is that if you're a dude and you go to the gym and you work super hard, you're 6 foot, you've got a nice body, you are still going to have less options than the average woman. So when a girl gets on TikTok and she talks to you and she says, oh, I can get with your dad, it's like, okay, but, you know, where's your ring? Where's your long-term relationship? Can you get a good man to commit to you? That's the question you've got to ask these girls. Is like, okay, that's fantastic for you. You can have hookups, but like, I don't see a ring. I don't see a long-term relationship. I don't see a family. I don't see any of that. I don't see anything that takes any genuine sacrifice or effort from you. I see absolutely none of that. And guys, please don't take that as a sign to go out here and get married, okay? Please do not do that. Absolutely terrible idea for men, especially in 2022. But the point still stands, right? Is these girls, they don't have a ring, they don't have a long-term relationship, and they're out here thinking that getting attention from dudes on Instagram or wherever the hell that they get it from, is something to be proud of, because it absolutely is not. But let's play that one more time, because that's just insane.
I'm officially at the age where I can date you or your dad. Don't play with me.
And guys, like, again, I don't know how old this woman is, okay? There's some absolute sorcery going on here, I'm sure. But I want you guys to imagine for a second, okay, that you've married this woman and you come across this TikTok, like because this is a TikTok, by the way. This is not a YouTube video. This is a genuine TikTok from her account, okay? I want you guys to imagine for a moment that this is your wife and she's here making TikToks like this, right? How embarrassing is that? How straight up embarrassing. Guys, like, I know a few gentlemen out here who are very successful dudes. You know, they work incredibly hard at their particular fields. And it's like, you know, some of their girlfriends and wives and stuff like that, it's really embarrassing. Like, some of the behavior that they put out there is like, man, you're really like committing to this girl and she pulls crap like this on the internet and you don't feel like secondhand embarrassment at all, right? And again, no idea how old this lady is, okay, but certainly a bit too old to be posting TikToks like this. That's something else. But let's continue on to the next clip. And to get to the next clip, I have to go through this one, so I've muted it because I didn't want to hear her again. But let's see what this one says.
4 ways to know you're in a mature relationship. Number 1, you fight well. Every time you have a fight, you feel like you're closer to this person as opposed to further apart. And you don't use bad words, bad language, and make this person feel bad, but instead you learn and grow from these fights.
You know what I love about this woman's TikToks, guys? Right, I'm going to lead you in gently to this, okay? The reason why I love this girl's TikToks when we see them is because what she does is she starts off her videos by saying something that's altogether pretty reasonable. I think a lot of us can listen to what she just said there and go, yeah, that makes sense. Like, obviously, you know, you don't want to get in fights with people and just call them names and crap like that. That's some high school garbage right there. To just get in arguments with, like, especially your significant other and just, like, call them names or whatever and have dirty fights and crap like that, right? And I think a lot of us can look at that and go, oh yeah, that makes sense, okay. But the beautiful part about this woman's videos, guys, is because she says something sensible at the beginning, and then she just kind of hits you with the 1-2 by following it up with some bull crap, right? So check this out for her next point, okay? And the points that she's making are what are the signs of like a mature, healthy relationship, I think it was. But check this next point out. Now that she's got us butted up, guys, she's going to lead us in real nicely to this point.
Number 2, you accept that the other person has a past, because we all have pasts and we're all human. And what happened before they met you shouldn't affect your relationship.
No. You see, that's not how it works. Okay, your past absolutely does matter. I don't care how many of these TikToks exist, guys, but like the fact of the matter is that people's pasts certainly do matter. And the reason why they matter is because they're a predictor of the future. Okay? Like if you're out here and you've got, you know, an astronomical body count, you're not going to be able to sit in a relationship and be content with what you have, because you're always going to be seeking that next new exciting thing. Right, this is why, guys, there are some stats on marriage. I'd encourage you to look them up. I don't have them on hand right now, but I'd encourage you to look them up, guys, because there's statistics on marriage success by the amount of partners that individuals have. And let me tell you something, gentlemen, there is a strong correlation between the amount of partners an individual has and the likelihood of marriage failure. And it's not some like small or insignificant correlation. It's pretty damn high, guys. These girls with these, you know, these high counts, their marriages will not last. It statistically will not last at all. Right, and if you're an absolute, an absolute optimist, you'd have to really struggle to achieve that mindset with some of the stats that you see. Okay, but your past absolutely does matter. Okay, but notice how she just hits us with that. Isn't that funny, guys? She says something reasonable at the beginning, and then she's like, "Oh, by the way, our pasts don't matter." But the thing is, yes, they do. Ridiculous.
Number 3, you're able to spend time apart without there being any issues about it. You both are independent enough to actually enjoy that time and enjoy missing each other. And number 4, you trust each other completely. And that's why 1, 2, and 3 can even happen, because no relationship can ever work without truly trusting one another.
Guys, let me know what you think of that point at the end right there, because here's the thing. I'm not for, going out and searching through people's phones and all that kind of crap. I think it's personally weird, okay? But let's just use our common sense here for a second. And this is the way I think, okay? Is like, there are some individuals who you can't trust, okay? And one of the reasons that you might not be able to trust an individual is because of their past. Okay, a lot of these girls, guys, they want to come out here and they want to go, so what, I've made a lot of bad decisions in my past, I've learned from them, but now I'm ready for a real man, and I expect your 100% trust. I'm sorry, that's not how this works, because what you've demonstrated is a poor track record for relationships, and yet I'm supposed to come along. I'm supposed to put some skin in the game as a man who, potentially has resources, who has built himself up over a long period of time. I'm supposed to ignore your past at the potential risk of all my assets and any kids that we have together, just because, you think it's the right thing to do. I'm sorry, guys, but at a certain point, you've got to put 2 and 2 together and say, some individuals are not trustworthy, and that's what it is. Like, I'm not advocating to go out here and, rummage through people's bags and crap like that. But the fact of the matter is that what she's trying to do is she's trying to say here, my past doesn't matter. You shouldn't judge me for it. And also, even if I have a bad past, you should trust me 100% completely. I don't know, guys, sounds like a recipe for disaster to me, but let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if you think I'm being a little bit too cynical, and let's continue onwards.
Truly trusting one another.
This is what to do if your boyfriend or girlfriend cheats on you. Disclaimer, I'm speaking from a girl's perspective, however this would work for anyone. Number 1, we are not doing all those stereotypical things that you do when you get cheated on. We're not slashing tires. We're not egging houses. We're not breaking windows. Because as wonderful as it would feel to do those things, hit him in the heart, not the wallet. Go live your best life without him. Karma will catch up to him. Think about the fact that he has to now live every single day without you. That's gotta hurt. Know your worth, babe. He literally just lost you. Like, imagine losing you. How do you recover from that? And do not go back to him. Cheating is a choice, and cheaters don't change. And please do not go after the girl that he cheated on you with. It's not her fault. She probably didn't even know that you guys were dating.
You know, guys, we've covered a few of this woman's TikToks before on the channel, okay? But surprisingly, I actually agree with her a fair bit on this one. There are some things that I disagree with her on, but I agree on the fact that, you know, never take back a cheater, guys. Absolutely terrible idea. If you take someone back who has disrespected you, cheated on you, you know, whatever else, it's going to happen again. Because what you've demonstrated is that there is no consequences for the individual's actions. If your girl cheats on you and then you take her back into your life and you're trying to make things work, all that's communicating to her is, oh, I can get away with whatever the hell I want to get away with. And he's not going to leave me. He's not going to do anything about it. So I'm just going to continue to do that behavior and kind of move on my way. So I agree with her there. But, you know, some corrections I'd like to make here is that, first of all, not everybody is a boss babe queen. You know, this idea that, oh, every girl out here is an absolute princess and that's the idea. Like, notice, I'm pretty sure in there was like a boss babe comment, like, you're a queen babe, his loss and crap like that. Let's just make the point, guys, is, you know, it could potentially not be his loss. All right. Not everyone out here is an absolute saint. But the other thing I want to say is this, okay? Don't go out here and like make yourself better and go to the gym and live your life and do all this stuff just to spite and make other people jealous, right? Do it for yourself, guys, because otherwise, like, it's not going to be consistent. If you're going to the gym just to make your ex jealous and crap like that, it's going to be a lot harder for you to be consistent because you're not doing it for yourself. Okay, make sure when you do these things, guys, when you engage in your hobbies and like you come out of a relationship and you've suddenly got a lot of free time and a lot of free money, right, guys? Make sure you're doing the things for yourself and not doing it to try and make people jealous, guys, because I know that's some high school crap. That's not to say it doesn't work, by the way. Like, you can absolutely go to the gym, get a fantastic body and stuff like that, and your ex will probably be, you know, quite jealous. Maybe if you're broke and then you make a lot of money when you're outside of the relationship, oh yeah, that'll piss her off and that'll get her back. But do these things for you guys. Like, not to say that those things don't work, but just make sure that you do them for yourselves.
Her fault. She probably didn't even know that you guys were dating.
4 signs of a mature woman. Number 1, she doesn't say it's fine when it's actually not fine and then expect you to read her mind about what isn't fine. She'll tell you exactly how she feels and try to fix it with you. Number 2, she lets you have fun with your friends. In fact, she encourages you to have fun with your friends because she's got enough going on that she enjoys that time by herself or with her friends.
Guys, as we go through these 4 points here, you know, I dare say there are a lot of you watching right now, especially as we go into points 3 and 4, who will really see that you guys have been dating girls in the past who do this kind of crap, right? Everyone will be like, oh, dudes are insecure, dudes are so controlling. But let me tell you something, guys. A lot of these girls can be absolutely crazy in relationships. Like, I've heard stories. I had a chat with the dude over on Patreon, which I still got to do today's Patreon question. I'm a dumbass, man. I got to do that. But, you know, I was talking to a guy on Patreon the other day, and a lot of guys, like, they outline their previous relationships and stuff like that. And it's really not uncommon for girls to go out here and be like, oh, you know, you can't hang out with friends. I don't want you doing this. I don't want you doing that. We covered a Reddit story recently where the girl didn't want the guy playing video games for like an hour a week or something like that. So a lot of this stuff really does happen across both genders, but we'll get to points 3 and 4 in a minute because I've totally forgotten about today's Patreon question. That is totally my bad, and hopefully it doesn't crash because I've tried to record this video like 4 damn times at this point. So let's jump into the question. Today's question was sent in by an individual with the initials of BY, so thank you very much for your submission, and let's jump right in. It says, I make good money, 100K plus, and I've had to deal with women using me for my money all of my life. How can I avoid this? And once again, it was sent in by an individual with the initials of BY. Guys, if you're going out here and you're getting into relationships with these girls, please do not lead with money. It is a recipe for disaster because, unfortunately, gentlemen, if you're a dude who's successful, particularly if you're a dude who's successful and you've come out of a long-term relationship like a marriage, girls will treat you like a target, right? And I wish I could word it some other way, guys, but you know, don't be leading your relationships and stuff like that with money, because, you know, hell, even in a pragmatic sense, guys, you think that taking these girls out on $200 dinner dates is a smart idea when the previous 5 guys who she's attracted to haven't had to buy her anything. It's like, something really doesn't add up, guys. Don't be giving these girls so much investment up front, especially monetarily, even if they haven't, because chances are they haven't earned anything from you. A lot of girls think that they can show up and that's like good enough and all they have to do is be a pretty face. And, you know, that's enough to keep a dude around. So please, guys, guard your assets and stuff like that, particularly if you're a dude who's successful. And one of the ways you do that is do not lead with money. Do not take these girls out on expensive dates for the first time you meet and crap like that, because you'll burn yourself a lot by doing that. Let's continue with this woman's points as I double click the video and mess everything up.
Number 3, she doesn't thrive off of drama and gossip and, you know, create drama in your own life because she's like at peace with herself and mature. And number 4, she doesn't tell her friends every single thing that happens between you guys. She knows that that's between you guys. What's private is private, and she's respectful of that.
And that last point right there, I used to bring that up a little bit more earlier on the channel when we were a lot smaller. We've got a lot more people watching these days, and I haven't made this point in quite a while. The fact of the matter is, guys, is that if you're in a relationship with a girl, please understand that all of those things that you think are private, they're not private. Okay, all those deep conversations that you two have and those experiences and those embarrassing little things and, you know, typically your bedroom fun and stuff like that, please believe she's talking to Becky down the road about it or her friend Susan or whatever. And even if she's not at the current time, please understand that if your relationship dissipates, there is a very strong chance that all of those little things, guys, all of those details in your relationship will become public knowledge, at least to her friends. And this is something that really shocks a lot of dudes when they get out of relationships, is they realize they're like, you know, how could you say that? I thought that was private information. A lot of this stuff is really not private to these girls, guys. Like a lot of men are in relationships and they don't realize just how much of their life is on display to the friend groups of the girls that they're dating. Like, it really is absolutely crazy, guys. Like, I've made this point before. But if you go out and you talk to some of these girls and, you know, you just be completely non-judgmental, you know, you don't judge them and, you know, you just ask some questions here and there, or you just have conversations about their relationships, the amount of stuff that these girls will tell you is ridiculous, man. Like, you guys, we get hammered all the time for like, oh, boys' locker room talk is terrible. Guys are, you know, talking crap about girls all the time, guys. But let me tell you something. If you guys have heard women's locker room talk, I don't know the words for that. I'm assuming it's the same, but, you know, a girl's locker talk, it's significantly worse than men's, guys. It's significantly worse than men's.
Between you guys, what's private is private, and she's respectful of that.
Too many young girls are flattered by the attention of older boys and don't realize until too late that these boys, who cannot compete in their own age group, are often not well adjusted and will demand too much in a relationship with a younger girl.
Ooh, the older I've gotten, the weirder this is. When I was fresh 18 years old, guys who were almost 30 would date me. Now that I'm older, I realize how weird that is, because I look at 18-year-olds and I'm not attracted to them at all because they're so young.
Let's just translate that for a second, guys. The reason why these girls feel weird about it as they get older is simply because they're not the ones receiving attention anymore. You see, this used to be totally fine when she was the 18 to 24-year-old. Again, I don't know how old this woman is. She's talking like she's older, but I don't know. She looks fairly young to me. I don't know what age she is, guys. Like, honestly, it's so hard to tell at this point. You guys let me know in the comments what you think, okay? But as girls get older, they start to realize that they're not the ones who are getting attention anymore. Right? Because there's always going to be a new 20-year-old and she's no longer that 20-year-old. That's why as girls get older, they're like, oh, I just find it weird how these these older guys in their 30s are dating younger women. It's such an issue. It's problematic. Yeah, it's problematic and it's weird for you now, quote unquote weird, because you're not the one who's receiving the attention anymore. It was perfectly fine in her own words as an 18-year-old to get with like a 30-year-old or whatever it was. Perfectly fine, because she's the one who gets to go on those expensive dates and get the company of a man who's more experienced in life. Totally fine. But as she gets older and she has less and less of those experiences available to her, now it becomes a problem. Right? It was never a problem when she was the one that all of the guys had eyes for, but now the attention is starting to slip away. Oh, it's weird, right? It's super weird, and guys who do that are disgusting. But the fact of the matter is, guys, is that men are attracted to youth. Men are attracted to younger women from the ages of 18 to 24. There's a graph, literally, guys, if you just type in Google Images, I'm sure it'll come up. You just type in the wall SMV graph, you'll see what I'm talking about, where guys like pretty much across the board prefer girls who are like early 20s, okay? And that's just the way it goes. And a lot of these girls will have an issue with it because they're no longer the ones getting attention. I'm going to play that through one more time because it's just that funny.
Relationship with a younger girl.
Ooh, the older I've gotten, the weirder this is.
Yeah, the older you've gotten, the more of an issue you realize that it is for you. Because here's the thing as well. As she's getting older, she wants to date those guys who are experienced and established in life and who know what the hell that they're doing. But those guys who have options, like, guys, there are some dudes in there, 30 to 50-year-old dudes, like, I tell you what, man, some of those dudes are absolutely blowing the younger guys out of the water, but just because they have more experience, they've been working for a longer time, they understand things, they got some money to burn on some nice experiences, whatever, right? Where these girls, they get upset about it because they want access to those dudes who are like, 35 and successful and crap like that, but those guys are no longer looking at her anymore.
When I was fresh 18 years old, guys who were almost 30 would date me. Now that I'm older, I realize how weird that is because I look at 18-year-olds and I'm not attracted to them at all because they're so young.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, right? It's just, it's poetic in a sense, guys. Just, isn't it absolutely poetic that as she gets older, the weirder and more awful this thing becomes? But it's perfectly okay, guys, when she's on the receiving end of all the gifts, all the attention, all the validation, and all the attractive older dudes. But that's just the way it goes, guys. We're going to be calling today's episode. They're a little bit of a shorter one, to be honest, because my OBS has crashed multiple times, so we're not going to risk it one more time unless I pull my animated hair out, guys. We're going to be leaving it there as always. Make sure to drop your thoughts and your comments, guys. If you disagree with anything I've said, feel free to do so, gentlemen. That is what the comments are for. And we're going to be calling it there. So as always, guys, make sure you take care of yourselves. And I'll be seeing you boys in the next one. Peace. Yo, what is going on, guys? Past Taylor here. Just want to say thank you if you made it to the end of today's video. With that being said, make sure you go and show some love to the editor of today's video, guys. You can find free Apple Watch wallpapers over on his website, www.applewatchfaces.io. Make sure you head over there, guys, and bookmark the tab to show some support for your boy. He's gone through the blood, sweat, and tears of putting together today's video, guys, so make sure to go and show him some support for what he has endured today. Take it easy, guys, and peace for real this time.